Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Thanks for coming by today. Just kind of wanted to do a little mid-month kind of check-in and let you know what I've been up to, what I've been getting myself into for the 2024 so far. Today is January 15th. I'm off actually for the holiday here in the US. Off work for the holiday. And so yeah, we'll get into something today probably. It's actually really kind of gray and yucky out, but yeah, we'll see what we get into today. But I want to kind of get this do a little, like I said, a little mid-month check-in, and yeah, let's just chat about what's been going on, right? So for reading, if you at all watched my kind of 2024 plans videos, a goal for my reading was actually just slow down, and I've definitely been doing that. There's some days I don't read at all. I know. So, and you know what, it's been really great actually. Because I've been doing, some other things that make me happy. So it's been good. It's been a really good decision to just sort of consciously step back from reading so much. I still love reading, of course. I have read 4 things so far. So let's dig into those really quickly. And then I'll talk about some other stuff. So if you don't care about listening to the other stuff, I'll do the book stuff. That way you can kind of check out after that. And that's fine. Okay. So the very first thing I read this month, probably just, fitting for the year really, was probably one of the most hilarious things I have ever read in my entire life. And I read this for the Catchuary event, which, is a reading event run over by, it came from the page for his Patreon. It's a cat-themed reading event, and with really fun prompts and everything. It's really fun. So for the Rum Tum Tugger prompt was to read, what was it again? Oh, a book that makes you swoon. And Andrew from it came from the page, and I really like to read my hair, sorry, unhinged smutty stories. And so I just, I felt like I needed to read an unhinged smutty story. And I came across this one, and it seemed perfect because Andrew is also Canadian. And I just, like that this, it presented itself at the perfect time. And that's Taken by Canada by Colt, Alcove. Yeah, you heard that right. Taken by Canada. Like a 5-page story. It's very short. And like I said, it is hilarious. It is so funny. It is so funny. So this is an American guy, goes into Canada so he can have sex with Canada. The country, the entire country. And it's just funny. It's just so funny. There are some lines in here that play into like stereotypical Canada stuff, I can't even explain it. But I can't words. It's so funny. I recommend it just because it's absolutely hilarious. You just have to read it. You don't have to, but if you want to just read something absolutely just funny, silly, it is not taking it, it's not trying to be anything too sexy or anything. Like it's doing what it needs to do, and I had a really good time with it. I really did. It was just a lot of fun. Highly recommend. I feel kind of bad to now talk about this book, but then I did dig into the Reformatory by Tananarive Due. This was the book club pick for the Spinebreakers book club, which is hosted by Brad Proctor. Of course, I'll link Brad's channel below. He's trying to kind of revive the book club this year. I'm really excited. The first 3 months, I'm going to do some really exciting things. So, yeah, the Reformatory, absolutely had to dig into this one. And I loved it. It is a stunning story. Hard-hitting, very difficult to read at times, but really important and a necessary story. And in typical Tananarive Due, which are really nice horror bits as well. I think, throughout the horror community anyway, a lot of folks definitely know what this one's about, but this is set in Florida during some kind of Jim Crow era, and where our main character is this little boy, I think he's like 12-ish, named Robbie. And his family's kind of hit on some hard times. His mom has passed away, and his dad has had to leave their kind of small town due to circumstances. Otherwise, because he's been kind of an activist and things like that. And of course, people don't like that in that area. So he had to leave town, or otherwise he'd, you know, probably be dead. And so Robbie's left with his just a few years older sister, Gloria. And they're just doing their best. You know, Gloria's had to kind of quit school and get a job, and you know, things like that, right? And so one day, this is all I'm beginning of the story. They're kind of walking, and I think Robbie's going to school, Gloria's walking to work, and they come across, you know, this guy, and he's a white guy, and she's talking to Gloria, and he's getting a little out of hand, and making some, you know, innuendos and advances towards Gloria that Gloria is not really, you know, not really wanting. And Robbie gets a little upset about that and kicks the guy. And now, again, this is Jim Crow era South, and so you just didn't do that back then, right? But you know, the other guy, you know, the guy was like, you know, like, you know, willing to let it go, but his father saw the kid kick him, so it went from there. He's like pulled into court, he's arrested. I mean, let me remind you, the kid is 12 years old, okay? First of all, the kid is 12 years old. Anyway, so he is, I mean, just sentenced right away to go to this reformatory. And so this is where the bulk of our story takes place, is at this reformatory. And it is based off, of course, the real Dozier School for Boys that was in Florida, where, you know, many young boys were tortured, abused, and murdered, and all. And so there's truth in this story as far as the place and things that happened. I'm sure, you know, you know, a lot of this, it may not be true as far as this particular story, but, you know, we know bad things happened at this particular school. But what Tananarive Due adds is, you know, some ghosts to the stories, and they're called haints in the story. And what we find is that Robbie is someone that can, well, a lot of the boys actually see the ghost, but Robbie seems to have a little kind of extra special kind of, you know, connection with seeing this ghost, and so the story kind of goes from there. I don't want to really say too much, but they're the kind of head guy of the school, of course, is a complete asshole. Just, I mean, just awful. Robbie and all the boys here deal with such awful things. So we've got that going like within the school, and then Gloria, you know, outside trying to get her brother out, you know. So there's two sides of this story of like trying to help Robbie, you know, get out, and then Robbie trying to help himself on the inside, you know. It's just fantastic. To me, Tananarive Due writes a hell of characters. All of her books that I've read so far, her characters are just always outstanding. And yeah, same here. The characters here just come to life on the page, and even the evil ones, you know. I mean, like, you can just feel the evil kind of seeping from them, you know. And the fact that there is so much reality in this story makes it absolutely heartbreaking. You know, this is a horror story where the ghosts aren't the bad guys. you know what I mean? It's the human people that are the real scary things here. And I absolutely feel like this is necessary reading, actually. And yeah, it's just stunning. It's beautifully written. And Tananarive Due, she's just a fave. I've loved everything that I've read by her, and cannot, you know, I'm already like, where's my next book, you know, because yeah, she's stunning. I love her writing, and I love this book. It is an important story, and at the end, I mean, I'm literally bawling. I'm in tears bawling at this book at the end of it, because it just was so affecting. You become so grown, you know, attached to the characters and the story, and then what you realize is that Tananarive Due herself and her family has a connection to the Dozier School, and had a relative that died there, and so she kind of wanted to bring her family story, you know, to the forefront as well. So it's just an absolute must read. It is a must read. 5 all-stars. I mean, it is absolutely, yes. Yeah. So anyway, I don't really know much else to say because, I mean, you just need to read the book. It's a must read. You have to read it. It is important, and it's beautiful, sad, heartbreaking, will make you so angry, but again, so important, and I loved it. Have to read it. So let's move on from that. And you might end up in a puddle of tears by the end. Yeah. Then I switched gears a little bit again, and I read Snapdragon by Leyh, and I really love this too. This is so stinking cute, and I loved it. This is like a middle grade graphic novel, really sweet and really just cute artwork style, I think, too, that bring these characters to life on the page. I really love this. This was recommended to me, I think, a couple of years ago now by my friend Stitch and Liz, thank you. And I finally got to it. And I read this for one of the Catuary prompts. I think it's like to read a book about a friendship. And this is a wonderful friendship. So we're following, I remind myself of the main character because I am, oh, her name is Snapdragon, duh. And, you know, she's a little girl, but she's a little different. You know, she's not like a girly girl, and you know, she's kind of an outsider at her school. You know, she's a bit rough and tumble. You know, she lives with her mom. She's a single mom, and she's got a little dog here, which is so cute. And right at the beginning of the book, the dog has gone missing, and she's like, "Oh man, my dog is gone." So she goes looking around, and whispers in this town is that there's a witch that lives in the town, and there's this witch supposedly like eats animals or something like that. So she like gets brave and like checks out this witch house, and lo and behold, yeah, there's the dog. But really turns out that Jax the witch has helped the dog and nursed it back to health, guys. And then this sort of unlikely friendship of, you know, 12-year-old Snapdragon and then Jax, who is an elderly, I mean, really an elderly person at this point. There's a great picture of Jax here. And is Jax a witch? I don't know, you have to find out. But I love this, like I said, this sort of unlikely friendship. And then you find a little bit of history, like maybe there's a connection to her family with Jax. And I just really love this. Snapdragon also makes friends with this boy at her school who, there's basically a lot of discussion here about gender itself. So the little boy is really, you know, doesn't feel like a little boy and starts to dress as, you know, more feminine throughout the story. And it kind of gets, you know, more and more as it goes. And he's just like really living his authentic life and being very happy. And even, you know, there's a little something about Jax the witch too. I don't want to say too much because I think it's really, you know, kind of part of the story that is fun to kind of unravel on your own. But I highly recommend this. Actually, it's so good. It's just about, to me, it's just about living like your kind of authentic self. Because even Snapdragon, like, she doesn't, you know, she just does her own thing. Like, she is very like strong-minded, and you know, she wants to be who she is too. And yeah, I just love this. I just loved it so much. It was so great. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough, honestly. It's just so good. Yeah, I loved it. And then kind of for both the Kindle Kobo clean out, where we're, you know, focusing on reading some ebooks, clearing out those Kindles and all that. And then actually, I was going to use it for a Catuary prompt, but I don't think it's going to fit now after reading it. But anyway, I read book 2 of Binti, the Binti series. So I read Home, which, yeah, because it's the second book. And maybe, you know, there is a prompt for the Kindle Kobo clean out to start or continue a series. So yeah. The Binti series is a series of kind of really novellas anyway. So there are short reads. I really enjoy the first book. Read it a while back now. And really enjoyed book 2. And then this, I don't say too much because it's, you know, second book, but she, as the title suggests, she has come back home to Earth and kind of seen the fallout of what things that happened in the first book, how that affects, you know, her kind of just her hometown, and then just sort of things kind of on Earth in general. Because in the first book, you know, she goes off to space to attend a school, and the ship that she's on, which is like a school ship, is attacked, and these aliens and things happen, you know. and yeah, so what happens in that book and what she had to do in that book, how that has changed things for her as she's come home. And it's kind of like, you know, is home for her now because she has changed so much through the events that have happened. I really liked that. Yeah, it's a really good series, and hopefully, you know, I'll wrap it up with reading the third book soon ish. So we'll see. And yeah, that's what I read so far. So yeah, I've just been taking it easy and slow, and just really just enjoying my time reading, you know. A couple things in progress, at least one thing in progress. Yeah, so I am in progress with what's the title? I gotta remember the title. Drive Your Plow. Do I have it written down somewhere? Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. There we go, by Olga Okorafor. I'm sure I'm not saying that right. This book, I feel two ways about it. I'm both kind of struggling with it at one time and also enjoying it. That seems really contradictory, and it is. And that's how I feel inside. I don't feel contradictory about this book. It's not a long book, but it's taken me a long time to get through it. I think just because of the writing style. But I'm also like so curious enough to see where in the world this is going to end up. You know what I mean? I'll just save my thoughts for when I finish, because I'm going to finish it. I just don't know what in the world how I'm gonna feel about it once I do. You know what I mean? I really would like to finish that today, because I really want to pick up Mary next, which is of course our book club pick for Death by TBR book club. I want to get into that, and then I really need to make some more dents into my, you know, Kindle books, you know, for the month. So, but anyway, that's kind of my reading. Again, just poking along and having a good time with what I'm reading, you know, taking my time with some stories. It's been really great so far. So let's talk about, I'm going to talk a little things about talk about some things I've been watching and stuff too. If you don't, you know, if you're not interested, totally fine. Again, like I said, so, but, you know, because I, you know, wanted to really make time and space for catching up on some shows I've been wanting to watch, and movies, and just things like that. Just, you know, being able to do fun things, you know. And so yeah, that's been fun. So as part of Catchuary, actually Andrew has done 2 group watches, or what do you call them? Watch parties. That's what I'm looking for. Over on his Patreon Discord, for a couple of cat movies, which were really fun. The first was Uninvited, and this one was hilarious. It was like so bad, but it was a fun one to watch together because it's just plain silly, you know. But there's this like cat that like escapes this like testing facility, and then he like gets onto this like yacht with this bunch of like yuppie annoying people that are also like kind of like gangsters. I don't know. And then but inside the cat, because it was like this testing facility, there's like an evil cat. I don't know. It attacks people and kills people. I don't know. It's the effects were like hilarious. It was a funny one. And then we watched The Uncanny, which was great. This was like an anthology movie. I wish they make more anthology movies. They're always a lot of fun. And this one had like 3, or really I guess 4 stories if you kind of count the story that pulls all the thread together. You know, cat stories where cats are, you know, kind of taking some revenge and killing people. And this was from the 70s. Peter Cushing was in it. You know, he's like writing this story about some things that he's found that cats are doing this, and they're killing people. And so we follow like the 3 stories that have killer cats, and it was just a lot of fun. Actually, it really was great. And like, you're on team cats really at the end of it, because humans are awful sometimes, but it was really fun. I did finish up the series Between Us. This is a Thai show. It is a spin-off from a show that I watched kind of at the tail end of last year, Until We Meet Again. And this follows 2 characters from that show that we meet in that show, but they're not the main focus of that show. A couple, I mean, this is a romance. And yeah, we're following them in this story, and Team and Win are their character names. And I loved seeing their story, how they get together, and just learning more about them and their past of their characters and how they get together. And it was a really good mix of just fun fun, cute stuff, which you know you love in a romance. And then also some pretty serious topics, especially with Team and what he's been going through. He has some trauma in his past that he's dealing with, and how Win really helps to soothe that and help him come to terms with that. I thought was really lovely. And then Win's dealing with some family stuff too. Yeah, it was really good. And then this couple, these two actors, I think with a lot of kind of Thai shows in general, like you get a pair that are together and then they stay together for like different shows. It's a whole thing. It's a fandom thing, but they also were in a show called Even Sun. I went ahead and watched that too because I just really am enjoying these actors, and they've got a new vampire show coming out this year, so I kind of want to get caught up on their previous shows so I can get ready for this vampire show because I'm really stoked about the vampire show. Anyway, and Even Sun is just a really short and cute little 6-episode show, and it's like this, the actor Prem is like this really cute, like he's trying to be like this kind of thuggy guy with like collecting money for this debtor, for this guy he's like lets people borrow money or whatever, and he's not very good at it, and he's sent to go collect money from Boone, the other actor. I'm drawing a blank on their character name now. But anyway, this one to me was all about the scenery because this takes place on this like island, and it's in Thailand. It's just gorgeous scenery, the beach, and well, it was really good. It was a fun, cute one. Nothing super serious in that one. Just really, just cute, It's just a really cute one. And yeah, so a couple things in progress. I have started watching, we're watching DFF, which is another Thai show, which is spooky and really, really good. Twists and turns. It's so good. It reminds me of kind of like a Scream, or I know we did last summer vibes. It's like a slashery vibes with like this friend group. Oh man, it's been really good. And then The Sign, I've also another Thai show I've been watching, which is really good, kind of dealing with like kind of reincarnation and like fighting love throughout the years. But a lot of sort of like Thai and Buddhist kind of like lore characters are being brought into this one, which has been super interesting to learn about because I kind of went down a little rabbit hole of like Googling these figures of like the Naga and the Garuda and things like that, and what they are, what they mean. So that's been really fun. Yeah, so that's been great. I've been enjoying my watching. Oh, we did start Echo. My husband and I are watching Echo on Disney Plus. Am I watching it? We're really enjoying it. We got one episode left, and I'm really enjoying that. We love seeing the indigenous culture really at the forefront of this story. And then of course also Echo is deaf and as an amputee. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the word I was trying to look for. And the actor, I forget her name right now, playing Echo is just fantastic. Just a really good show. And then of course we get some Kingpin action, which it's kind of, Kingpin's one of those characters I always, I was kind of like, even though he's a total bad guy, right? But he's always just like one of those really interesting bad guys to me anyway. So yeah, just having fun with what I've been watching. I'll talk a little bit. I did in my journal making a little Kpop monthly little kind of spread. Keeping up. I'm trying to keep up a little bit more with like debut groups because a lot of times I just miss them, and so I've been trying to stay on top of debuts, and kind of keep your eye on them and see if you like them, see if you want to, if they're interested in them, and all that good stuff. So that's been really fun, and I've just I've picked a couple of groups to really do a deep dive into this year because I know that I will become an instant fan. And that kind of brings me to something I want to talk about here with the loss of our community, in our booktube community, of Jennifer Brooks. And I know people have been talking about her because it's just, it was just still such a shock that she is gone, and in such a sudden and unexpected way. And it's just, I'm still kind of like, what, But it's so interesting because I only came across Jennifer's channel last year. I don't know what rock I've been living under, but anyway, because she's been making videos for like ever. But I don't know, she, sometimes you just miss people and whatever. But I found her last year, immediately fell in love with her videos. I love the way Jennifer talks about books. And so just immediate fan of her book videos. And then I discovered that she was also a big K-pop fan. So it's just always a connection with someone immediately when you know that they're also a K-pop fan. And she was really into the group The Boys. And so like right at the beginning of the year, or like in the last year, when I was thinking of like some groups I wanted to deep dive into and like really go back into their, back catalog and, really learn about them and stuff, because I knew I wanted to, and I knew I'd be a fan right away, was The Boys. And it was because Jennifer talks so much about The Boys and how much she loved The Boys. And so yeah, I have Jennifer to thank for my now new obsession with The Boys. I've been enjoying my deep dive into The Boys. And yeah, so just, I was looking forward to talking with Jennifer about The Boys, letting her know, how my deep dive was going, and like, but I won't get that opportunity now, but that's okay. I still have her to thank for this new obsession. So I just want to send my condolences to her family and friends, who I know are absolutely mourning this sudden loss, and to everyone in our BookTube community also mourning her. Just sending you lots of love as well. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. But yeah. And I think I'm just gonna kind of end it with that. Not to on a sad note, but also we can celebrate someone's life as well, and remember good things about them. Keep the memory alive with good things. And so I'll always think of her when I now when I listen to The Boys. So I had to take a pause there. I'm so sorry. So yeah, so not to end on a sad note, because I don't always have to lean into sadness. And people, you can hold a place in memory of the good things that for people. And I think moving forward with Jennifer's memory and holding these positive things in mind, and she's got so many videos you can watch, and just hear her talk about classics, and and she liked horror too. And yeah, she's always there for us if we need to go back and watch her, and then of course now every time I listen to The Boys, I'll think about her. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up. I've just been having, the year's been good so far. Some of my life things have been stressful, so these these fun things have helped to kind of just help me breathe through some of those things. And yeah, I've done a really big organization of some of my K-pop things. I think I'm gonna move some of that into this space and move some books out, go through some books, get things. I've got some plans. So yeah, anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna close it out. I hope that you're doing well. Your year has started off, good. Let me know what you've been reading, what you've been getting into, what you've been watching, because I really want to know. My list of shows that I want to watch keeps growing and growing and growing, but I want to watch it out, So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I will see you at least at the end of the month. I'm behind on tags. I'm gonna try to get some tags done, but I don't know when I'll have time for it. Life sometimes lifes, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, lots of love your way. I hope you're doing well. See you in the next one. As always, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time. As always, it really means a lot to me. And yeah, bye guys. Also, I purchased the BTS Lego set because it was half price at Barnes & Noble. I cannot wait to dig into this. Look how fun that's gonna be. Things that bring you joy.